Hi, it's Sam Soper, Sound of Joy Music Services, and we're back in Studio A. Seems like it's been a long time since I've been down here doing another breakdown, but you gotta take advantage of the different areas of your home so that you don't just limit yourself to one area. So, the next request, how much we can bear. Now, of course, this song was back in my era as I'll say not a young musician, but accomplished enough to be able to hear the changeover from the traditional gospel, contemporary gospel, and the now I'll call it the R&B era of gospel from a choir standpoint. So as you can see, D flat is where the song starts. We always want to make sure that we do get our scale practice in. Why? Because that's where our chords will be coming from. And I will see if I can get away with airing some of these chords because they are very generic. If you can, the chords for this song pretty much stay in the same family. So let's air first of all, hearing what pitch or what key we're in, and then the chords which will be permeated throughout the entire song. Here we go. Here. So again, you hear the melody. In the scales. This chord is in the, and this chord, of course, is in the scales, which is why I stress scales 100%, 150%, 200%, because that's where chords are built from. Scales. So we got those opening chords. Now, the intro, you don't have to do the intro, but again, I like to be able to give a good coverage of how a song starts, because those chords are going to come back later on in the song. I believe that's what it did. So for the number system counters, this would be, again, this is why I don't like the number system. This should be a 6, but that's a 4 chord or 5 chord. That should be a 2 chord in the number system, but it's a 1 chord over the 2. That's the R&B sound. Let me see. Dun, 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 Okay, so what happens is because you're in that in the 2 chord um, range, because you come out of it, now you go into the 2 chord. Which is the minor. And that's where we're going to go. So let's listen to that part, and then we'll get going. Now the jazz feel or the R&B feel, that's the full chord. Now again, because I don't know the skill level of the requester of these videos, I'm always going to assume that you're at the intermediate level, which means I don't have to show you or talk you through what the name of the notes are. You can see the chords purely shown. What I give you is the fingering overhead camera fingering view. The notes light up with the Chordy app, so you can, if you want to count the note names, I'll talk to the number system, but I don't instruct in the number system. But this would be a 2, 5, 1, 3, 6. Again, and as I've demonstrated, just because it's a 6 chord, or 3 chord doesn't mean, or 3 number doesn't mean that's the chord that's been assigned. Okay, so let's get into the song now. Those are your 2 major chords, static throughout this part of the song. And then from the beginning, bum, 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 bum. This would be 3, 6, 2, 6, 2. Again, I'm talking to it, I don't teach it. 6, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just talking to it, I don't teach it. 5, 4. Then repeat. 3, 6. Now, your choir voicing is riding on top of these chords. Jesus, he knows. Those chords are in the major scale. That is the sequence. So what you're doing musically, hopefully you have a bass player. If you don't, then you've got to mimic the bass on your left hand. Which is why we have you learn the major scales, not just in your right hand, but in your left hand, so that you can, you see. And so those are the chords. That's going to get you through, I think, the entire choir portion before they go into how much we can bear. Let me see. Because these chords are so repetitious. Let me just listen a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna give you the other chord when you come out of it. I'm not gonna sing. So you're gonna do this, and this is a jazz chord. Minor. Or if you want to throw that churn in there. All right, let's see what else is coming up. It repeats. Let's get into the vamp. Okay, so there's your change. Now, what you're looking for is the tenor note, because the tenor note is going to give you the key change. For those who don't use the transpose button, this is why you practice scales in every key. So you're in this sequence: 2, 6, 2, 6, and that's what your choir is doing. But look what your tenor is. That's where your change is going to come from, and your chord is going to be here. Now you're going to go into the key of D. 2, 6, 2, 6. And you know this is a 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then back to 1 or octave 8, I like to call it, if you continue up. Which is why you want to practice your scales, not just in one key, but the next one up, because so that when there is a modulation, you will be comfortable enough with the modulation to know, and this is where the song ends up in F. And we're going to cover those changes. So now we're in D. I'm going to change my chordy app so that we are in a generic C scale so that I won't keep changing it. Okay, generic C. So now we're in the key of D. We came from D flat. How much we can bear. Those are your chords right here. Keep it simple. There it is. This chord fills it out, or it could be, again, for the beginners. I make it that chord right. We can bear. Now we're up in the key of D flat. So the 2, here it is, 6 in E flat. Now, if you want to know how to work on hearing these chords before you play them, you want to be able to do this. Chromatically go up so that you can hear what the chords sound like. So when it does change on you, and then you'll find out something. You'll find out that these chords you've been playing all the time, you just weren't given any kind of a structure as to how to practice them without a song being there. So now we're up in E flat, and we came from we can bear. How much we can bear. There it is, the 6. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2. Now we're going to go up again into a key no one likes to play in, E major. There we go. Now, unless you look at this chord, let's see how it's formed. Because trust me, you do play this chord in another key. Look for the 2, 6. That's your choir vocals. And hopefully you got some good sopranos to get that note. 2, 6. Next key up. this is where it stops. Let me get that correct now. There it is. Then I had to hear that change. And now we're into the key of F. Looking for the 2, the 6. And again, and these chords repeat. It's just a matter of the key changing, and you want to be able to, as I say, seamlessly change the keys without struggling with it. 2, 6, 2, 6, 2. Oh, we didn't go with the E major scale. You get that chord. Now, in the key of F, because that's where you're going to find your chords from. Jesus, he knows. Jesus, he knows how much we can. So let's touch on some of the key changes just briefly so you can hear those changes. Here's the change over to E, or the D rather. Can't add too much. That's the next key change up. Let's just touch on it. As I said, I can't add too much, but now we get a new key change. I like it so high. Then it's gonna go here. Then it's gonna go here. 6, 2. It's the 2, 6, 6, 5, 3, 6, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2. Again, I'll talk through the number system. I don't teach it though. So let's take it to where it's going to end because we know about the other change. It's the ending I want to give you because you've already played it in the other key. So to get out of that, Jesus, we know how much we can bear. Jesus, he knows. Jesus, he knows. All right, so that is the entire song. We'll see whether or not the YouTube algorithm comes after me for airing the music, but I always need to be able to demonstrate what I talk about, at least the point of view that I have. When you want to learn a song, if you are fluent in the scales from a practice standpoint, there is no gospel song that you will not be able to listen to and find the generic chords first before you start adding the other chords. Okay, as always, Sam Tober, Sound of Joy Music Services. We offer this free breakdown as a service to our viewers. There are some viewers who do request I change the keys of songs. I've been sort of reneging on that because I want you to learn the correct key first for a song that's requested, especially since I do it as a free service. And then using the concept that I teach, you can go back and change the key for yourself. Take care now. As always, don't forget to